Welcome to Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? This is your go-to source for practical advice and support when considering if a divorce is the right answer for you. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll uncover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here is your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello, and welcome to day 3 of the Breaking Ties interview series, the series where we talk with a professional who assists those getting through the divorce process, whether it's the beginning, middle, or end. We're always looking for fantastic information. And I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And with me again today is Gina Positano, owner of Gina Positano Designs. And she is the master of decluttering and has a great way of organizing and interior decorating your space, especially when you're looking at starting up a new space. And kind of brings me back to day 1 when we were talking, because this is a 5-part series. If you haven't caught the first 2 days, you got to go back and listen to them. Gina shared some really great practical advice. You got to love it. And, she's really known for creating that stylish and functional clutter-free space. And she'll be the first to tell you it starts with your mind as well. And I love that about that statement that she has. So with that, welcome back, Gina, to day number 3.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So now that we're on day 3, we're getting into some more meat and potatoes of questions and stuff. And I was looking and thinking about, what's some practical tips for redecorating on a budget? We've got this new space, we've moved out or moved on, or we're in our same space. But we don't want to go crazy on the budget. So what do you got for us today?
Sure. I really like repurposing items. Sometimes you have that catch-all room, or the garage is a perfect place just to throw things in and, maybe just in case once, sometime later that you're going to use it. I had a client who actually divorced. He was a man, and he lived in his home for about 8 to 10 months before he found my company. He had like a 3-bedroom townhome with the garage. So what we did, he didn't have a very big budget. What we did was I looked through his garage. He had some of the coolest things in there. And because he had already been there for about a year, maybe he forgot or he couldn't even see them all. But it was nice to take the fresh set of eyes, me, going through it, pulling out some artwork. He had this really cool antique table. It was some really cool things that we pulled out, and I was able to incorporate it into his house. And that's a perfect way. Maybe just look, what have you shoved in the closet? What can you bring out? Maybe you have an old mirror and you could just paint the frame. So something just to give it, a new look. And another place also is the online marketplaces are great. People are always, like we said, we mentioned the free groups yesterday, just things that are very inexpensive, or the charity stores are great. That's such a fun day. Just looking for really cool items to find and either just use as it is, or again, repurposing them, painting them, giving them a new type of look, and then use it in your space.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't actually even think about the whole just refreshing an item you already have with just, whether it's a paint or some other design tool. I'm sure there's other things you can do with various pieces you got lying around. I mean, the repurposing is fantastic. And I'm like you, I like a good charity store kind of go out and look around kind of day. I mean, you just see some very interesting things there.
Yeah, for sure.
So the divorce process is really quite challenging. We've been through it. It doesn't matter how easy your divorce was. It's still very draining and stuff. But now we've moved on. We're out and we're looking at doing all this design work. How do we avoid feeling overwhelmed by this design process?
Great place to start is writing it down. Write down your plan, write your to-do list. Which areas do you want to get done? Do you need to declutter your kid's closet, or you want to redecorate your kitchen? So just start by writing it down. And from there, you could build a shopping list. You could start looking online. So if the kitchen needs new paint, write it down, do some research online. I think there's nothing more overwhelming than just walking into a store. You don't have a clue what you're getting. And then all of a sudden, that looks good. That looks nice. I love that color. I like that color. And all of a sudden, you're, in the store, anxious and overwhelmed. I feel like it's kind of like when you go grocery shopping and you're starving. I don't recommend it. So having a clear, concise plan before you start, you know exactly what you need to do. And if you get that shopping list too, before you walk into a store, you can avoid overspending.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like that tip on the list. I mean, the list can keep you pointed in the right direction and allow you to make some choices and decisions. And doesn't mean you have to like what you had. You can, scratch it off and go, hey, I didn't like that. And to me, knowing what you don't like is probably just as important as knowing what you do like. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so yeah, fantastic information again. And really, this wraps up day 3 of 5. That's great. And for those who haven't caught the first 2 days, please go back and listen to those because Gina shared some really good stuff. Every day has different questions for her. And really, Gina and I would like to thank you for joining us today on this episode of Breaking Ties, the interview series. Should you have any questions for Gina, her information's in the description of the podcast. You got to remember, divorce is not the end of your story. It really is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, Gina and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Bye.